An NFC Championship game rematch. It's the coach. You're watching Week 5 of the NFL on EA Sports. Last January, it was Case Keenum versus Nick Foles. Today, it's Kirk Cousins versus Carson Wentz as the Minnesota Vikings head to Philly to take on the Eagles. I'll have stats and scores around the league at halftime. But first, let's send it out to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the Minnesota Vikings. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they're hitting their stride of late, winners of 3 of their last 4. Strap in. This will be a good one. 2 one-loss teams getting together as they're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. As we get a peek at the number 2 overall pick from the 2016 draft, standing at 6'5", Carson Wentz.
Not sure what you thought, but I thought it was appropriate when he walked into our meeting with his arm totally encased in ice because he threw 5 touchdown passes last week and won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award.
Yeah, but reading the paper this morning, and he said, gosh, I actually thought I should have got 6 or 7. But still, it was an amazing performance a week ago.
Boy, I'll tell you what, if he thought he should have had 6 or 7, that's a guy who's an absolute perfectionist.
Pressure up the middle, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. But you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now Wentz. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be a 2nd down. Quickly now, a look at the Eagles' offensive starters.
Back after offseason rotator cuff surgery is Alshon Jeffrey, who played with the injury all of 2017 and still caught 57 passes for 787 yards and 9 touchdowns. What makes him special? Not just his size, but his athleticism, which was on display, and a brilliant catch for the first touchdown of Super Bowl 52.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. Then his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And now out comes Minnesota. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Following the interception, Cousins. Throw left side complete. That's King. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. To throw is Cousins. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Mike Bennett in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. Bennett, of course, a big offseason pickup for the Eagles.
And they love his versatility. He can play defensive end, defensive tackle in obvious pass situations, 9.5 sacks last season in Seattle, and the smallest shoulder pads for a man his size we've ever seen.
A 3-time Pro Bowler to boot. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
I'm focusing in on Everson Griffin, who's coming off of 3 straight Pro Bowl appearances and tied for 4th in sacks with a career-high 13 in 2017. Really anchors the defensive front of the Minnesota Vikings. Can get sacks in flurries, in bunches. A hard guy to keep away from a quarterback.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a 1st down as well. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, Wentz toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Go. 20!
Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play, and 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
So on 4th down, here's the veteran left-footed punter Donnie Jones to kick it away. Marcus Sherrill's back deep for Minnesota. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Vikings now heading onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. Well, it's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done? Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
That burst good for 20 and a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Now it's Ajayi. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. There are the numbers last week for Jay Ajayi. 19 carries, 74 yards.
And give him a ton of credit. He's running the ball really well. But I look at those guys up front. That unit is truly playing as just that. Every move that they make, their teammate understands what that move means and what they need to do. And right now, they're starting to grind it out pretty well.
Wentz, and complete to Zach Ertz. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. An Eagle first down, Wentz to Ertz.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
This is Ajayi, and he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. On the tackle, it's Trey Waynes.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He finds Aguilar over the middle, and he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Throwing on first is Wentz. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Second and 10 now from the 27. Wentz will try again on second down. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
You can't have enough good pass-catching tight ends in the NFL. And the Eagles, they wanted to replenish their stock. They lost Trey Burton in the offseason, so they selected Dallas Goedert out of South Dakota State in the second round. And he is nothing but a big-time pass catcher.
What a great story, because South Dakota State didn't offer him a scholarship out of high school. He walked on there.
Yeah, so now Zach Ertz has a running mate at tight end.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Darren Sproles, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
That time a 9-play drive, and it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. Elliott now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. And this is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
This is Brown on the carry. And not a whole lot doing there, as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score. Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. They're able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. First down, here's Cousins. And he fires one incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. That'll bring up second down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here. You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. To throw, Cousins. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Michael Bannon in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 11 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. On 3rd down, Cousins. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. 18 yards there and a 1st down.
Hey, did you have one of those backyards that you had one of those, like, mats or pits like you have for high jumpers? And, you know, you had your friends throw the ball and you tried to make the spectacular catches?
I didn't need a mat.
you just did it with the ground?
Absolutely.
That explains your
concrete.
Toughness. That explains your toughness right there, because I think that guy was raised just like you. What a catch.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run with Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Tavares King, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix.
Ojai hit. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And now out comes Minnesota. Well, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after them, because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after him.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. On 2nd down, Cook. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, Hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Cousins from the gun on third. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 34. Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37. 1 quarter in the books. 10-7 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Here's Donnie Jones now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. But now out comes Minnesota. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
We talk about setting a tone or beginning a drive. That run was absolutely textbook. I'm telling you, partner, now they're not just thinking about an easy drive. They're thinking about maybe taking it downfield.
Yeah, started at their 2. Now they've got a heavy amount of breathing room. They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he will have the 1st down here as he's up to the 15. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. They run again on first down. Cook. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They go play action. Cousins. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
The Vikings on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Working out of the gun, Cousins. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Time for us now to discuss Alshon Jeffrey. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter. They're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's 2 sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion. Anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. He's going to loft one, and this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Nelson Aguilar, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead is now 14-10. Elliott now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. Charles, it's the second quarter. Your team's losing. You're not playing well as the quarterback, but like I said, it's the second quarter, so how worried right now are you?
You're concerned, but you're not panicked because you know there's still an opportunity. No one's excited about his stat line right now. 1 touchdown pass, okay, that's cool. But he's throwing an interception as well. Can he eliminate the mistakes and keep making the positive plays, the good plays? That's what they're looking for from him.
Time to find out if he can do just that. And that one results in 35 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. On first down, Murray. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Nigel Bradham brings him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Second down, Cousins. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be second and goal coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So that's going to move them half the distance.
Still second down.
First of all, you can't jump in this situation, but think about your play calling now. Could easily change what you want to do and maybe make things a little bit easier.
Here's another second and goal, this time from half the distance closer. Throwing is Cousins. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
The Vikings on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're looking at a third and goal here. They'll give it here to Brown. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Only a yard there, so it brings up fourth and goal.
Partner, it's decision time now. I know it's still just the second quarter, but you have an opportunity to either kick the field goal or go for it and try and score a big-time touchdown. This is why the head coaches get paid the big bucks.
And this winds up a disaster, nowhere near the marker. They pass up the 3, fake it, it doesn't work. Well, there's two sides here. I guess you could pinpoint and look at the offense and say, oh, man, what a disaster. Hey, the defense, though, they came through.
Preparation's the key to everything, and when you're on the defensive side of the ball and in special teams meetings, you prepare for plays like this, and in this case, they were actually able to win it.
Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, is that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, he's looked pretty good to this point. Now Wentz throwing on second down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be fourth down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on third. Here's Sherrills. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A 2nd one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
A look at Darren Sproles as he works his way back onto the field for this next go-around. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle, a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. The Eagles on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. Working from the gun, Wentz. Aguilar has it. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up the 1st down.
Here's Ajayi. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They run with Ajayi. Fights him off. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. It's Xavier Rhodes there in on the stop.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment.
Here we go. Back, man. 120. Let's go.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. An Eagle first down there. Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. Wentz now on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Sproles lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And out now come the Vikings. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Following the fumble recovery, Simeon over the middle, complete. It's King. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Now a play fake, and it's Simeon. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Mike Bennett in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. From the gun, here's Cousins. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. And they're able to pick up the first and keep possession. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Cousins now on second down. Complete to right. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here's Cousins. And Rudolph has got it. The big tight end for a Viking touchdown. Kyle Rudolph, as the first half is winding down, and the Vikings are able to strike for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 17-14. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's polished off by a Viking score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. "13 seconds, the time remaining in the half as they come up on first down. They'll start out on the ground with Ajayi. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Wentz. Ertz over the middle. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit, where you see the final score there. 35-13, the final score. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home at Levi Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Jerick McKinnon, over 100 yards on the afternoon thus far with a touchdown run as well. Finally, let's get over to Carson. See what's happening with the Chargers at home at the StubHub Center. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Raiders. The veteran Phillip Rivers with a couple of touchdown passes there. In our game, there's a reason why he was so sought after in the offseason. It's Kirk Cousins with a strong first half. His guys lead, though by only a field goal. Still anybody's game. As we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The dangerous Hill now to return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done they're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
A first down throw for Cousins. And right with it here over the middle. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Cousins on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And it's a fumble. And it's picked up by the Eagles.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Play action. Now Wentz. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one goes for 24 yards. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call. And they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that will tie things at 17 all.
So they come away from this opening drive in the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job one, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
The return man is Hill. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll run. This is Brown. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Now that's how you start to get back in the good graces of your head coach. Remember, he fumbled on the last possession. How about the faith they showed him, giving him the ball again, and he repaid them, picking up a first down.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Avoids him at the 40. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Off the play fake, Cousins. And he slings one that's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. 10th carry of the game now, Murray. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had the incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Now Cousins. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Nigel Bradham in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This from 54 yards away. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And we will remain tied here in this third quarter.
So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Hey. Here we go.
Now they'll run on the draw. Heck of a move, but only able to work his way down near the 23. Credit the tackle to Jalen Holmes.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. This Minnesota D up to the task on the 3rd down pass play.
These guys had to settle for a field goal their last time moving the ball down the field. They may have to do it again on this drive. That could be frustrating.
Yeah, I don't want to be cliche, but at least they were able to get 3 last time. 3 here, not the worst thing in the world. And Elliott puts this one through. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Brown. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it. Rest of the game. And it does get in your mind a little bit, and sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tacklers.
And the defenders know it too. They sniff that out, don't they?
Everybody wants to swarm the football. You know what the rule is. First guy hold up the runner. Everyone else try and get there and strip the ball free. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, Be aware, a ball may come your way.
Play fake. Cousins. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Timmy Jernigan in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been terrific so far. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And they'll go on the ground. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That good for 22 and a first down.
It always seems like a lightning bolt when you get a big run on 3rd and inches. But in this case, all the credit has to go to the offensive line. They out-leveraged the defensive front and created a gap for him to get through and create that big-time run.
A Giant with the benefit of a full training camp behind him, excelling in this Eagle backfield as they come up on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Shotgun now for Wentz. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage, so as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And he's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Throwing is Wentz. And that is caught. It's Aguilar for the Eagle touchdown. Nelson Aguilar with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Elliott good on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. Again, it's Murray. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it 3rd down. With his size coming out of the backfield, usually takes more than an arm tackle to get him down. That's why they like to get him involved in the passing game.
No doubt about it. You saw him running that angle route there and catching the ball. And with his size, not often thought to have hands, but we're hearing that more and more. Guys are doing a better job of catching the ball at any size coming out of the backfield because they need to be a full part of the offense.
Nelson Aguilar and company getting set to go again on offense now. He's been a load for them to handle defensively, I know that much.
Well, look at him. He's got 7 catches on the game, and he's starting to shred them a little bit because not only is he catching them, he's picking up good yardage, keeping the chains moving, ball control, you name it. This big guy, what did you say? He's been a load for them, man.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Jaleel Johnson with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fade.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And they'll run it here. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. That'll be a gain of 15 yards. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Here we go. Waiting. What's that?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Morgan. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Cousins now. The throw left side complete to Treadwell. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. This will be caught inside the 10. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got it 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal, expect them to attack right here on this play.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Handoff comes to Cook. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal. That's what they wanted out of that 1st down play. Run it down there. Now they're knocking on the door.
The only thing that would have been better was getting it in, and now they can do whatever they want because they've got confidence on their side. Line up quickly and go, or savor it a little bit, but I run right back at him.
He'll get it up the middle, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Now Cousins. This will be caught at about the 5. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. And if you're going to pass down here, you better get that in the end zone.
I agree with you totally. And as we both know, the field's already condensed. There's just not a lot of space. So you've got to create some by getting some people downfield into the end zone. If you want to throw it short, you've got to have some movement, some room in order to do that. That one didn't work.
The kick by Carlson is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Jay Ajayi works his way back onto the field. He is fully awake now. If he didn't get off to the start that he normally does, they've got his attention. He's running it well.
You think they set off the alarm clock at the half? You think that's what went down? I know this, having played on the defensive side of the ball, if you do a really good job against a great runner, and you go into the half, you're excited, you're fired up, you think the game plan is working, but in the back of your head, there's that little bit of nagging doubt. Can we do this for 4 quarters? So far, that's not happening.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
But now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. A dump off to Sproles. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around a training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But now
trying for right, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, T.J. Ward. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different colored jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
coming out as they get ready.
Well, where have we seen this before? This might be shades of Super Bowl 52, Charles. Eagles up by a score in the fourth quarter, needing to run some clock.
Yeah, and they don't need to take that much off here. And think about it this way. Different quarterback under center than the one you're thinking about.
Yeah, Nick Foles under center, Super Bowl 52 here, Carson Wentz. But in Super Bowl 52, they took over 7 minutes off the clock.
They certainly did, and they really ground it down and stuck it in the end zone.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. To throw, it's Wentz.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they run successful.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
Lets it fly. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, you're trailing. It's the 4th quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Flush to his right. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Now it's Sproles, and he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Xavier Rhodes makes the tackle. You can really tell right now both sides have amped up the aggressiveness. That time the offense winning the aggression battle.
And the defense was obviously aiming for the football, maybe a little bit more so than the runner himself, and that's why he was able to break through and get the gain that he did.
To throw is Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big gain of 31 on third down. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Wentz looking very much like his pre-injury self. He's got the Eagles on the move with a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. He will push his way down to about the 14. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. They'll run it now out of the gun. He will push his way down to about the 14. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
There we go. Back.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front. And it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The air's out of the balloon, and right now they're almost lifeless.
This is caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On 2nd and goal, Ajayi, the lone man in the backfield. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. They come out here in the eye. They'll try to run with Ajayi. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They run again with Ajayi. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. Now a second down throw for Cousins. Staying on his feet. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
I'd love to know what he's saying in the huddle now to his guys up front, because it's been a steady stream of pressure on him this entire game. That time, able to avoid the sack, but he's got to talk to his offensive line and say, guys, just a couple seconds extra, please.
On third down, Cousins. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's King. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. First down, here's Cousins. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's King. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down. Cousins now from the 50. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. And they'll get up and spike it right at 40 seconds to go. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on third and long. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Open man here is Conklin. A big 30-yard play on third. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Cousins on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down at the 28. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be second down. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. One last shot now for Cousins. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Eagles, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals.